Hey you guys, it's Bethany. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about all the tips and things that I've done and learned on my journey to growing my hair. How I grew my hair from like shoulder length curls like here to where it is now. And this process, honestly, my hair could have been longer, and I learned a lot of things about what works for my hair and what doesn't, and what works for hair in general. Again, I like to say this in my videos that everyone's hair is different, so it's not a one-size-fits-all solution, but these tips will help you at least have a guideline for what to do if you want to grow your hair. Before I jump right in, I want to say thank you to you guys who have been bearing with me while my schedule has been crazy. I know my posting schedule has been a little off. I'm trying to get back on board and to get a little bit ahead with my videos. For those of you guys who have stuck with me, thank you. Don't worry, we're gonna get it together. We're gonna get it all the way together. It's gonna be fine. I want to say hello to all of my new subscribers. Welcome to the family. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I hope that the tips that I give can help you guys. I mean, I'm just one little corner of the internet, but it means a lot to me that you guys take the time out to watch my videos, to all of my viewers and my subscribers. So thank you guys so much. It makes me so happy. So tip number one for growing your hair longer is understanding what it is that you actually want and desire. We can kind of say, oh, I want long hair, but what does that mean for you? I mean, you have to take into account shrinkage. So for me to say I want long hair, well, if I pull my hair down, it's relatively long, but what does that mean? Like, some people might say, okay, this is long hair, that's where I want my hair to be. But for me, I want longer curls. I want my curls to be more full and long, and that is one of the goals that I have for my hair. So kind of define what your goals are. Don't keep it so vague. Kind of understand what you want and what it means for your hair, because your hair could be all the way waist length, and when you wash it, girl, it could be up here. So kind of understand your hair type, and what exactly it is you want. Really define your goals and don't be so general with them. That way you have something directly that you're aiming at. So my number 2 tip, and this one is so important. I have literally learned the hard way with this one, is to avoid neglect and over manipulation. So let's start with neglect, because I'm the type of person that if there's a lot going on in my life, you know, some things are gonna fall off, you know. And so there was a time in my life where I had just had my son and I was breastfeeding him. It was through the summer, and I was also traveling, and my hair, when I tell you, I literally barely did my hair that whole summer. I would keep it in a bun for like 15 days or longer. Like, it was just bad. I suffered. I really had to cut my hair off after that. So the time that you guys see like in the thumbnail when I had like short hair, that was because I had so many knots. I had single strand knots in my hair. It was just damaged. I would have like the end of my hair would be fine, but like up here was just damaged. It was like split in the middle, and it was bad. And I had to cut it off, because what else are you gonna do? You gotta cut it off. So I would say to definitely avoid neglect. If you're not taking care of your hair and treating it properly, which we'll talk more about in this video, then honey, you're not gonna be growing your hair long. I want to make it a clear point that hair grows. That's a simple fact. Hair grows. But whether or not you're actually retaining length and it's staying on your head is a whole nother story. If you have to cut off damage, or if you have split ends and they're breaking off, you're not keeping your length. So it might feel like your hair is not growing. It's growing. It's just not staying healthy, and it's not staying on your head. You don't want to neglect your hair and literally just do nothing with it, but then you also don't want to over manipulate your hair. You don't want to constantly be like touching your hair, constantly be like just doing the most with your hair. You don't want to have a new hairstyle with rubber bands and all this and all, like, every single day. You can really wear it down. For example, if you have your hair up in a bun like I did, and you wear that, your hair is pulled up in that same bun over and over and over again, that can wear down your hair in that area. Like, and it can cause your hair to become damaged and weak in those spots. So you really don't want to like do the same hairstyle for a long period of time, and you also don't want to be changing your hair up all the time. You really need to find a healthy balance. I've told you guys this before on my channel, but when it comes to natural hair, you have to commit. You have to commit to it, which means you can't neglect your hair. You have to commit to the process and to everything that it takes to keep your hair healthy. So this kind of leads me into number 3, which is protective styling. Protective styling can be a good tool to avoid neglecting it or over manipulating it. Keep it tucked away, safe and sound per se, while you are trying to encourage the growth. However, there are still protective styling doesn't always just mean that your hair is going to be protected. We call protective styles, but some of them are not as protective. So let's talk about that. A fan favorite, box braids. Box braids have been known to rip out edges since the beginning of time. So if you want to keep your edges, you need to make sure that whoever is braiding your hair understands that you care about your edges and you want them. If not, she gonna snatch them up, honey, and you're not gonna have no edges in a couple weeks when you look in the mirror and you're like, wait, where my edges go? Especially if you go to some of the braiding shops, sometimes they'll snatch you up real quick, So definitely, just proceed with caution. Protective styles can be protective, but sometimes they're not. So also think about this. If you blow your hair out and you go to get your hair braided and you don't have any like conditioners or leave-in conditioners in your hair, I'm not saying that you have to. It's not getting water. It's not getting leave-in conditioner. Actually, when I had braids, I actually just took some leave-in and just ran it over my braids just to add a little bit of moisture into my hair to make sure that my ends, because look, are your ends tucked? Are your ends tucked in your braids? That's a very, very good question. When I braid people's hair, I always tuck their ends. You know why? Because if their ends are sticking out and then their ends are getting damaged because they're sticking out, then they are going to need a trim as soon as they get their braids out. When I braid my own hair, it's a little bit harder for me to tuck my own hair, so my hair was sticking all out my braids. I know y'all gonna see it in my next video. Make sure that you do research on who is braiding your hair. Do they understand your hair needs? Are they tucking your ends? Don't just go to anybody, because we want to keep your ends and we want to keep your edges, honey. So make sure that you just do your research, okay? Other protective styles that you may think of as twist outs and braid outs and things like that, those can be protective. For me, I don't wear my hair in the twist or the braids for the braid out like for long. I kind of just do it until it's set and take it out. So I wouldn't really consider that a protective style for me. But for those of you guys who may keep your hair in those styles longer, that can be a protective style. But just know, a protective style is going to be something that encourages your hair to still hold moisture, and that protects your ends and that protects you from over manipulating your hair. So just keep that in mind, because when we talk about growing our hair long and thick, that means that we want to keep as much density as possible, which means that we want to avoid as much shedding and as much breakage and hair being pulled out straight from the follicle. I mean, of course we want to avoid that. So just keep those things in mind with protective styles. I know they're super popular. They're super easy and low maintenance, but make sure that it's actually protective for your hair. So tip number 4 is leave it alone. And don't. We're talking about color processing, heat styling, chemical processing. You guys, I know from personal experience how tempting it can be to color and straighten your hair. For me, the color is the thing that I'm like, because I want to go lighter, but I know I shall not do it. You know why? Because if I lighten my hair, I'm going to have to trim it very regularly. And I mean like every month to every 2 months. I know that if my hair is light blonde, the ends are just gone with the wind, okay? So for me, because I want to grow my hair long, this is about as light as I could go. This is it. Honestly, ideally, I wouldn't have any highlights or bleach in my hair. I do have some highlights, not anything too crazy, but I know that this is where I can be. This is where I rest. If bleach hits my hair, the hair is like, peace, I'm out of here, deuces, like, goodbye, I don't want to be here anymore, crumbling under the pressure, like, it just can't take it. Heat styling. You guys, this is one that I love to straighten my hair for a special occasion. I know people say you shouldn't feel like you need to straighten your hair for a special occasion. What if I just want to? I'm not trying to impress nobody. It's just fun. I just like it, okay? Chill. If you don't want to do it, you don't got to do it. But for me, that was something that it's like, ooh, yeah, I'm going to get super glam and I'm going to, straighten my hair and put some curls in it. And I love to do that. However, whenever I straighten my hair, it needs to be trimmed. I could straighten my hair 1 week, wait a week in between, and straighten it the next. My hair needs to be trimmed again. This is my hair, my colored hair. I know how it acts. When it's straight, the ends are more prone to becoming split. That's just the way it is. I could trim my hair one day, a few days later, my ends are split. It doesn't matter if I wrap my hair or what. Just from the tension of it touching my clothes and things, when my hair is straight, the ends get split. So for me, if I want to grow my hair long, I can't be straightening my hair like every month. Like, it's just not going to work. I'm going to have to literally just keep cutting everything that grows. So I have embarked on a new journey. Yes, I have. Where the last time I straightened my hair was in March. Okay. So I am not going to straighten my hair until March of 2022. I am going to go a whole year without straightening my hair. I might do another video kind of talking about this and more in depth and the reasons why. But the overarching reason is that I want to grow my hair. I wanted big, long curls. I'm always conflicted whether I want long or short hair. But I figure since I'm already halfway there, I might as well just grow it long first and then just chop it all off. You have to avoid the heat styling as much as possible. For me, the blow dryer doesn't do too much damage for me. The diffuser it's not too bad for me, and I don't really mind using it, to be honest. But the hair straightener, she's gotta go. Sometimes you just want another vibe, but for me, in the season of growth, we're not going to be using them. So ladies, put them away. Tuck them in a drawer, put them in your cupboard. A cupboard? Why did I say that? Just store the heat tools away and watch your hair grow. So speaking of our ends, tip number 5 is to protect your ends and to get trims as needed. I like to use a satin bonnet on my hair to protect my ends at night. If I do not do this, I do notice a difference in the ends of my hair. So what you want to do is a satin bonnet, a satin pillowcase, a satin scarf, whatever you can do to make sure that your ends are covered fully. Don't just put your hair in a pineapple and put a scarf around the perimeter and leave the ends out. Unless you have a satin pillowcase, that is going to be a no. You want to have your ends fully covered. Whenever you're just at home chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, put your hair up. Get your hair up and off of your clothing if you can. That way that you can avoid your hair from rubbing and that tension causing split ends on your hair. Now let's talk about trims, because this is a thing that a lot of people, it's a little controversial. Should you get trims every 3 months, or should you get them once a year? You need to get them as needed. Do not overly get your hair trimmed, because trimming your hair does not make it grow. Okay? Your scalp is not communicating with the ends of your hair. This that's already out, this is already dead hair. Okay? It's not communicating. It doesn't know, oh, it got cut. Go ahead and grow. No, that is not how it works. If you have damage on the ends of your hair, if you have split ends, if you have things that need to be trimmed off, that's when you need to get a trim. That's the only reason you need to get a trim. Okay? So it's not on a schedule. It's not like every this, that. You need to look at your hair, ask your hairstylist, do I need a trim? If you don't need a trim, don't get a trim, because now you're just cutting off hair that could have been part of the growth. But you cut it off because for what? Don't do that. So tip number 6, which is a super, super, super important tip, is to strengthen and moisturize your hair when necessary. So Our hair is always looking for a balance of protein and moisture. I have briefly talked about this on my channel, but I haven't done a dedicated video yet. If you guys want to see a video on the protein moisture balance, let me know. But protein is what your hair is made of. So adding protein to your hair strengthens it. But also you need moisture to balance out that protein. Too much protein can make your hair dry and brittle, and too much moisture can make your hair kind of soft and frizzy. So, like overly soft and frizzy. So, how do we find this balance? You have to listen to your hair, see what it needs. I love Curlsmith. You know why? Because they understand this about hair, and they have different recipes for different things. They have their strength recipe, they have their moisture recipe, they have their scalp recipe, which I'll talk about later. And this video is not sponsored by any means by Curlsmith. However, I do love their products, so I'm just going to talk about them. The Apogee 2-Step Protein Treatment is one of the treatments that I absolutely have been loving since the beginning of time. I think I featured this treatment in my very first YouTube video that I ever did ever. I usually use a protein treatment after I've colored or straightened my hair. That way, any damage that's being done, I'm kind of helping to rebuild the protein in my hair and strengthen my hair. Now, let's talk about moisture. We're going to talk about deep conditioning. Deep conditioning is something that we all kind of like have a general rule of like, do it once a week. Do I deep condition my hair once a week? No. Should I? Probably, but I don't. I don't have time, okay? That might be a lie, but I just don't feel like I do, so I don't do it every week. However, at least every other week or like just as often as I can, deep conditioning your hair is important because you want to kind of like, it's like you're sealing the deal in the moisture. Like you condition your hair in the shower, you're like, oh, that feels nice. But when you're moisturizing, you're like, yeah, you're getting in there. My hair is moisturized. Yeah. So both of these are really, really important for the health of your hair, to maintain its health so that it can grow and maintain its length. You want to retain it. You don't want it to be falling off. You don't want it to be shedding out too much. So the strengthening helps with that, and then the moisture also helps with that. So just keep those things in mind when you're thinking about your hair regimen and routine, when you're building it and just figuring out what you're going to do with your hair. Think about these things as well. So tip number 7 is to drink water. Now, this is a very important step that I should say do as I say and not as I do. I'm really, really working. Actually, I just started kind of like carrying a water bottle around with me everywhere the past couple of weeks, because I understand that your body hydrates from the inside out, and you want the hair that's growing out of your scalp to be as healthy as possible and to have as much of a boost to grow faster as possible as well. So drink plenty of water. What you put in your body is so important, and it actually dictates the results that you're going to get on the outside of your body, and that's your skin, that's your hair, that's your nails, that's everything that is from within. So make sure that you're drinking plenty of water. And I'll add on to this, along with this tip, is hair vitamins. There's tons of hair vitamins on the market. I hate to have to talk about Curlsmith again. I haven't tried their hair growth vitamins, but I have a curl friend that I met online, and she showed me her results of how the Curlsmith vitamins helped her to grow her hair very, very fast. So I actually really want to try them. I need to pick them up, but I'm just letting you guys know you can try hair vitamins as well to give your hair an extra boost with the growth. Okay, so my last and final tip for how to grow your hair thick, long, and healthy, and how I did it myself, is scalp health. Okay, I was the type of person that never really did a whole lot with my scalp. I kind of was just like, I don't know, it's a scalp, it's just there, you know. But your scalp is very important. Why? Why is it important for hair growth? Duh, because your hair grows out of your scalp. So if your scalp has buildup on it and is dry and flaky, that is going to inhibit your hair growth, okay? It needs clear passages, healthy flow, good blood flow, all that stuff your scalp needs. So you need to be thinking about your scalp. So the first time that I ever understood, or even I guess realized, that I need to think about my scalp was when Xoxo came out with their Scalp Revival line. And their Scalp Revival line, it has like a scalp scrub that has like little like granules in it, and you scrub your scalp. That was amazing. It was mind-blowing that it was even a thing, but that was really, really cool to really get that buildup off. And then they had like a scalp conditioner. And then Curlsmith actually also sent me their scalp recipe line, which has like so many products that promote a healthy scalp. I mean, I tried that line and my scalp just felt so revitalized. So I recommend that one as well. And then also Pros, which is like a custom like hair care brand. When I worked with them, they gave me a scalp mask, which I had a scalp mask. Like, now we'll just get a really high maintenance with it, you know what I'm saying? But I think that scalp health is becoming more and more and more important, and a lot of people are starting to realize, okay, my hair grows out my scalp. What's going on with my scalp? So definitely just keep in mind that you need a healthy and balanced scalp to grow healthy and balanced hair, and so do not neglect your scalp. Another thing that you can do is to actually use a scalp massager to increase the blood flow on your hair. This is something that, you know, it may seem a little, you know, like, why are we doing this? But you got to get the blood flowing, and that really, really helps to promote growth as well, and it feels really good. I particularly like to do this when I'm in the shower, but some people like to just sit and watch TV and just massage their scalp, and that's absolutely fine as well. But for me, you know, I'm already in the shower. While I have like the scalp like scrub on, I'll just kind of like, you know, massage that in, and just, it's like a little, it's like you put it between your fingers like this, and then it has like little like rubber spikes, and it just kind of like, you know, massages. All right, you guys, well, these are all of my tips for growing my hair in the past year or so, and what I have been doing and what I've been trying to focus more on that I know will help promote my growth in the future, such as drinking more water and taking hair vitamins and just really taking care of myself and my body in general, getting more active in the gym. I'm trying to glow up again. You know, you go to high school and then you glow up and you look back and you're like, oh God. And then you kind of like get a new vibe, and then you're just like, okay, I'm 27, like I need to glow up again. It's time. And so I'm working on my body. I'm working on everything to kind of just bring everything up a notch and kind of, you know, just, you got to keep life interesting by reinventing yourself and finding new versions of yourself to love. And that is a journey that I am on. Fitness and health from the inside out, even though I continuously choose to eat Ben & Jerry's double chocolate fudge ice cream. No, double fudge brownie. Oh my God. It's so good. With some Toll House chocolate chip cookies. You cannot tell me that Toll House does not have the best chocolate chip cookies. What you do is you put them in the oven at 325. Do not do 350 like they say, 325. And when they look like they're still raw and underbaked and they're not right, leave them in for 1 more minute and then take them babies out. They're going to look a little light. They're not going to be golden or brown or anything. When they settle, they're going to be the softest, most... Why am I talking about this? I need to stop. I am supposed to be on a healthy journey, not talking about Toll House cookies. Anyways, guys, that is it for this video. I'm going to start rambling on. You guys, please share what is one of your favorite hair growth tips that has really been helping you. Has anyone tried rice water? I really want to kind of try to get into that a little bit, or the baggy method. I'm really interested in that as well. So if you guys have tried any of these things, definitely let me know down in the comments. And what have you tried to grow your hair? What has worked? What has not worked? Let's talk about it in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.